Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Everspace. Now you may be surprised to see where I am here.
As soon as possible.
Right, we're getting a horn in there. I'm actually very low on fuel. This doesn't probably match up with my previous location, and the reason for that is because I'm now in Sector 4. At the end of the previous video I was in Sector 2, and unfortunately I've just spent a whole bunch of time recording from there to here, and the footage got corrupt, so I've had to start again, but I'm carrying on from that point. But well, we do want to get a video together, so we're going to have to carry on from this particular location. So unfortunately, yeah, we haven't got the footage from Sector 2 to Sector 4. Bit of a nuisance actually, because I did manage to upgrade the ship here quite significantly, and I would have liked you to seen all of that. At one point we did come across a Corvette, and I was in two minds. It was actually in the previous zone. I was actually in two minds as to whether to take it on or to run. Now I didn't have the massive super weapon, the Arc 9000, so it would have been taking it on without that. And whilst my ship has been upgraded in the interceding sectors, I still struggled when fighting against some of these ships. What's going on there? Look, unusual looking beastie. But for the most part I can take on these ships, but some of the Mark IIs, they're a little bit of a struggle, and you can see already I'm getting hit quite hard. There's an incoming missile from somewhere, I think. That's this guy. This Outlaw Mark II ship. Have we got him? No. Oh. Huh. Right, so we should have... oh, nope. I was hoping to have... I already had the Arc 9000, but that's not actually the case. So we've got it now at any rate. We're going to swap that out with the shield breaker missiles, because I don't want them. Make sure we salvage the correct thing, and we're good to go. Now, as I was saying, I could have taken on a Corvette, but I didn't have the weapon that I've just picked up there. Now that is a super weapon, and you may remember from my previous video I actually managed to pick up the Arc 9000 and actually fired it off, a volley into space, just to watch what it would do. Unfortunately I didn't realise at that time it was a single fire weapon, a single use weapon, which meant that when I came to the next zone and had to take on the Corvette, I didn't have a weapon powerful enough to actually get the job done. Could have probably maybe managed it if I had suitable upgrades, but I didn't have those either. So yeah, it's a mistake I don't want to repeat the next time I encounter the Corvette. I want to be able to take it on. So what have we got here? Let's go pick up the drops actually. Kind of got myself sidetracked there and flew away from these without actually trying to pick them up. Now the beam laser is a nice weapon. It's actually pretty powerful, but I've upgraded my pulse laser now, suitable enough that the pulse laser actually does significantly more damage than the beam laser. So the beam laser I'm going to salvage. What else do we have around here? Adaptive armor. I think I've actually got some of that. Who's attacking me? Right, we'll take on the shield drone first, because he's going to come over here and... oh, that beam weapon we might want to take on. That's it. What they do is reinforce these ships. Shield's down. Your life support system was damaged and you're running out of oxygen. You can repair it via the game menu. What happened there? Well, I will do a repair in just a moment, but first we're going to take So I don't know if that's an ability of the ship. It's certainly really weird the way it glitches around and then comes back with full armour again. Full shield rather. Oh no, it's not coming back with full shield, it's just charging up. Oh, come on.
What? Your life support system is still damaged. I'm on it.
Take some of them. That ship is being a major pain. I'm going to do the repairs while we're at this. Eating up the nanobots, which I've painstakingly collected. He was a lot more difficult than he actually needed to be, wasn't he? So, probably be me doing something incorrectly. Perhaps. Shock rifle. What have we got? We've got a shock rifle here, but this one, well, supposedly actually meant to be better, as it's a shock rifle pro, but the stats would actually suggest otherwise, wouldn't they? The only improvement there is the energy consumption. I'm not going to have that. Salvage it. I'm not using the shock rifle much anyway. Again, I'm simply relying on the base weapons. Alright, let's see what other resources we got around here. Unfortunately, I keep forgetting to use the upgrades I've got. I've got a weapons overdrive and a shield boost, and I don't actually use either of those. I should be using them more often. I'm going to get out of here before the Okar forces come in. And unfortunately we haven't got enough fuel. Yeah, we probably took quite a lot of damage there. So when we arrive here we're going to have no fuel at all, as well as some systems damaged. And probably not enough. Oh, look at all this damage. Right, we need more scrap and some crystals to repair the other damage. So probably shouldn't have done that there. We now got limited sensors, and the missing inertia dampeners are a bit of a problem. Oh, a new codex entry, the Ancients.
This thing is massive. What is it?
These must be the ruins of the Ancients, a long-lost civilization. Although the information I have on them is very limited.
Just tell me what you know.
They were believed to be higher beings, distantly related to and revered by the Okar. They ruled over a powerful and far-reaching empire, yet they mysteriously vanished from historical record some millennia ago.
Interesting. Perhaps I should explore this a little deeper.
Yeah, interesting indeed. This is the first time I've actually come across this. It's the furthest I've got into the game so far. But how we actually get into this place, I've no clue. I'd like to get in there before something nasty actually turns up and prevents me from doing so. There's a beam coming out the top here, it appears. Or is that off in the distance? Nope. Is that going to harm me flying into that? Nope. Quite possibly missing the obvious here. I'd like to get into this. Tend to drift a bit without the additional inertia dampeners, so I have to be a little bit careful there, because I don't want to keep impacting my ship. Done that a few too many times on previous journeys. Absolutely impressive looking area. Very, very nice. Got to be missing something obvious here, though. Is there a way in? What's this? Ouch. Ah. Yeah, navigating in through here without the inertia dampeners is going to be a bit of a...
What is this? It seems abandoned.
bit tricky. I don't know what this is. Some sort of monolith, isn't it? Or obelisk. Let's go through the other doorways here. Nearly crashed there.
Are these ancients?
I cannot confirm this as I have no data. They could also be some kind of wardens of the ruins.
Is someone trying to shoot at me then? Oh, yeah. I don't know if I should be shooting it or what I should be doing, but... No, 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 no. Well, got to admit, I'm at a complete loss as to what I'm meant to do here. Do I stay inside the ruins and have a look what's going on, or do I take on that thing out there, which I don't seem to be able to target anyway? Or do I come in here and risk destroying my ship for no good reason? Pretty sure I didn't actually miss anything in here. That thing just seems to be powered down. Completely odd. So where is that thing that's out here now? I haven't got anything to left. Oh, actually I can repair up a little bit. Shame I can't. Oh, now that could be why, thinking about it, the reason I can't target it is because my sensors are actually damaged. I don't want to waste I don't want to waste the Arc 9000 on that, but perhaps I should, I don't know. Let's get a bit closer and see what happens. We're not going to make this, are we? Where's it gone? Right, it has got a shield, but it's still up. We need to actually try and get that down. Let's hope we can make it. Come on. Very, very close. It's off to the... Where is it? I hope you dropped something interesting, assuming we can actually... No, we're not going to make it, are we? Let's try and get some distance for the shield to charge back up again. Come on, shield. Oh, watch that. Come on, don't get sucked in there. Looks like a black hole of some type. Are we knackered? We're dead. Took it out only to get destroyed by the implosion or whatever it was that happened there. Bit of a shame. I got a very, very long way there. First time I'd actually seen any of that. I would have loved to have seen what it would actually have dropped, if anything. And I was also very intrigued about the ruins there. Bit of a shame then, but a nice run. You can see the duration there was 70 minutes. Bit unfortunate that you didn't get to see the entire thing though. Anyway, 13,000 credits to spend on some upgrades here. Well, I don't want to waste it on unlocking a new ship, to be perfectly honest. Especially considering I'm not a fan of the other ships anyway. So, let's have a look at perks, I guess. I don't think we've got any enhancements to put on here, have we? When crafting a primary weapon, the weapon will be enhanced. Secondary weapons can't be crafted. We don't want that. Critical hit chance. Someone told me I should put more money into the credit loop bonus, but I've never actually found that to be particularly worthwhile. Don't know. Because if you have a look here, the percentage increase, it's a 3% increase, which is relatively little compared to the amount I'd actually get back when considering I'd need to actually spend a lot more on upgrades, other upgrades. But, one thing I will say is since the later patches of the game, the perks here are not as interesting as they used to be. They used to have far more variety. And I really do feel that's lacking nowadays. So a bit of a shame really. Component damage repair cost, hit point repair rate, nanobot efficiency, that would actually be a relatively good thing. I do miss the old shield upgrades. Something I really did come to quite depend on and quite rely upon. It was a hull that kind of got knocked out last time, so there we go. Secondary weapon slots. No, we're not going to do that. Device slots, not going to do that. Consumable slots, we're not going to do that. Sector scanner. That would have been quite handy. I actually encountered a lot of lightning storms early on and couldn't detect them before I actually got there. So one more purchase for that and that will unlock the improved map. So all the money pretty much spent, I guess. Could we put a bit into there? Critical hit chance, nanobot efficiency. We'll put it into there. And we're good to go. I think. There we go. So all the way back to Sector 1 again with our base weapons, unfortunately. And not enough resources to upgrade. Actually didn't see a perk there for allowing us to start with increased resources. There used to be a perk, you used to have to put quite a lot of money in and you can actually start off with a huge number of resources, but something that doesn't seem to happen now. Right, so let's get going then. Back to Sector 1, Zone 1, and some rather basic outlaw skills to deal with. Gotta admit, that Guardian did look very unusual, very, very different to anything else so far seen in the game, and I really did like the ruins that we saw there. I'm not too fussed about spoilers. If there's anything you do want to tell me about those ruins, if there's anything you want to tell me about the alien encounter, the one that the AI was called in the Guardian of the ruin, I'd actually be very interested in hearing all about that. So any tips, any suggestions, any information, anything at all, don't worry about spoilers, no problem at all on this. We're good for fuel. No, we've got adaptive armor already. Okay. Plenty of hostiles in here early on. for missiles. Managed to evade that one. But where did it come from? There. Okay. Scrap is what we could have used early on, and we could have repaired our sensors, I think. Excuse me. So, always seem to be loads of gas and loads of fuel. Nearly pressed the wrong key there and boosted right into the side of the rig here. Anything in there? Doesn't look like it, does it? But there is a comms hub over there. I'm going to quickly go check that out, but I'm not too fussed. To be perfectly honest, I don't expect there to be too much in this particular zone in the way of valuable resources, at least not just yet. Let's hope all those hull upgrades are going to make a significant difference. Where did that... Oh, where did that comms hub go? There's a tech container there, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted that comms hub. Oh, I see. It's over to the right. Wondering if it would be worth changing the colour of the UI here. Most of space is generally blue, or variants of that sort of colour, so it can be sometimes a little bit difficult to see the UI against that backdrop. I'd like to see a colour actually that's a new blueprint. I'd actually like to see a colour that's somewhat different to the background. Green is a rare backdrop, it's not there that often, so I'd choose that, I guess. Right, I think that is it for this zone. Time to head on to the next zone, and I am leaving the comms hub behind, but I don't think there's many more resources back there that are worth hanging around for. So into zone 2 of sector 1, and I think this will be where we'll leave it for this video, and we'll try and pick up from here in the future. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.